Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session, Redefining Data Preparation in Einstein Analytics. My name is Richa Prajapati, and I'm a user researcher.
And my name is Oksana Dzivinska. I'm product designer. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, and today we are going to show you how the new Einstein Analytics data preparation tool is going to help you become a data prep hero and become successful at work.
In Salesforce, customer success is our priority. We contribute to that success by building delightful products which are then used by our customers for running their businesses. We do that by putting customer needs, your needs, at the forefront of everything what we do. Through the research, observation, and iterative design, we identify user needs and then use our expertise as designers to craft delightful products, which are easy to use and, the most importantly, help you to become more efficient in what you do. We call that user-centric approach. And today, me and Richard, we're going to talk about how this method of putting our customers in the center of everything what we do helped us to redefine a preparation process in the data prep tool.
Yeah. And before we begin, I have to remind you of the forward-looking statement, which basically states that any investment or purchasing decision that you decide to make in Salesforce should be based on the products commercially available today and not based on anything that we show or tell you today. Cool. So I want to start off by showing you all an example of an Einstein Analytics dashboard. Doesn't it look beautiful? And as you can see, it can give you all the information you need in one place so that you and your users can focus on making decisions at work and not focus on finding the data and all that. However, to get to these insights, you often need to prepare and manipulate data first. And in Einstein Analytics, you can prepare data at two places. One is the dataset layer, the other is a dashboard layer. And just to collect some perspective, I want to do a quick poll. So, how many of you prefer to manipulate data in the dataset layer? Raise your hands. Okay, a couple of hands. How many of you prefer to manipulate data in the dashboard layer? Raise your hands. A lot more. And how many of you have complicated JSON, SQL, and bindings in your dashboard? Raise your hands. Yeah. And this is because the reason you have these complicated JSON, SQL, and bindings is because the dataset layer and the dashboard layer are not two distinct layers. They are highly interconnected layers. In the sense, the less time you spend in preparing data in the dataset layer, the more complicated your dashboard becomes. But we know preparing data in the dataset layer is not easy either. And depending on your experience and background, you might need different things to help you become successful and confident in preparing data. For example, if you're a Salesforce admin or analyst, you might not have extensive data preparation experience, and therefore you need something that will make data preparation more approachable and more, learnable. However, if you are a developer or someone who has experience preparing data, you need something that will help you prepare data more efficiently and can scale as the data in your company grows. And our research shows that depending on your experience and background, it can take you 3 to 6 months to become successful and confident in preparing data. And so the team at the Einstein Analytics team at Salesforce, of which Oksana and I are part of, wondered how can we reduce this time to 1 or 2 months and help you become data prep heroes irrespective of where you start with Einstein Analytics. And to answer this question, we conducted 8 studies across 8 months where we spoke to over 100 Einstein Analytics users to understand how do they prepare data, what challenges do they face, and how can we create an experience that will align with their mental model of preparing data. And we, as you can see at the bottom, we created various artifacts to create a shared understanding between the Einstein Analytics team on how our users prepare data. And on the bottom right over here, you can get a glimpse of how our designs evolved as we tested them. So, to see the results, let's follow the journey of a trailblazer. Meet Nikki. Nikki is a person responsible for building Einstein Analytics dashboards in her company to support her sales department. And to give you a background, she was in sales operation before, and she was recently given the responsibility to work in Einstein Analytics a month ago. So she's fairly new. Meet Kevin. He is Nikki's boss. And one day, Kevin and Nikki got together to create, Kevin came to Nikki asking if he could have a dashboard. I'm sorry. I think this thing is old. This presentation is old. It's not the right one.
Okay, sorry, it's just popping away now. Okay, try that.
It's just a sec. Give us. It's old, I think.
Is it?
Yes.
No, that's the right one. The most recent one. Let's show.
Okay. Cool. Okay, testing. Cool, we're good. So one day, Kevin comes to Nikki asking to see a dashboard to see his reps' opportunity data. And what does Nikki say? Of course. And so Kevin and Nikki get together to create a mock-up of what this dashboard should look like. And specifically, Kevin wants two things. On the left-hand side, he wants a toggle to compare opportunities of different sizes, small, medium, and large. And on the top right, he wants to see the difference between the total opportunity amount and the target quota for that quarter, which is coming from an external data source called Anaplan. Now, you might have guessed it. These two things require some sort of data manipulation and preparation. And in this session, I'm going to give you an idea of what data preparation looks like in the dataset layer today, and why so many people just avoid it. So to begin with, there are currently two tools you can use to prepare data in Einstein Analytics. They're called data flows and recipes. And often users wonder, which is the right tool for me and my needs? This is data flow. It is the more powerful data prep tool out of the two, and therefore it is also the most popular data prep tool in Einstein Analytics. And while it is very powerful, it can be very intimidating and for a new user, and is not generally very user-friendly. And as you can see, it can go on and on. I mean, I have maxed out. I've zoomed out as much as possible, and this is just 1/3 of the data flow. So it can go pretty long. Then recipes is the other data prep tool, which is supposed to be more user-friendly. But it lacks a lot of capabilities that data flow has to offer. And so a lot of users, even though they start with recipes, at some point or the other, they switch to a data flow as a data prep tool. Then if you work with data flow, you often work with coding like JSON and SQL and use complicated and confusing transformations like compute expressions and compute relative, which again can be not very intuitive and pretty intimidating. Finally, it's not very easy to validate what you have done in a data flow, and it can be incredibly frustrating if your data flow fails after hours of running. I mean, 3 hours, 4 hours is something that's common we have seen. And for a mistake that you could have corrected had you known about it in the first place. And therefore, it's no wonder like a long, convoluted journey lies in front of Nikki as she decides to prepare data for the dashboard. And therefore, she feels intimidated. However, our research shows that Nikki's needs or anyone else's needs when preparing data can be clubbed into 4 broad categories. So if I'm a user, I first need an easy way to prepare, to understand what is happening in my data and what is happening in my data flow so that I can plan my next actions. Then I want to be able to create and edit transformations quickly and easily so that I can clean my messy data and get it in a shape and format I need for my dashboard. Then I want to be able to validate the impact of my actions and transformations right away and see the impact it has on the data and data flow so that I can make some corrections. And finally, I want to be able to do all this regardless of the scale of my data and in collaboration with my teammates. And now Oksana is going to show how we addressed all these needs in the new Einstein Analytics data preparation tool.
Thank you, Richa. Definitely exciting challenges to address, right? And I'm excited to tell you that we have a perfect solution for that. Let me introduce you Einstein data preparation tool. It addresses all the needs we just talked about and empowers our customers to clean messy data faster. In order to be efficient and productive, Nikki needs an easy-to-use interactive interface, which would help her understand her data flow and quickly preview it, as well as quickly accomplish her data prep tasks. What you see on the screen right now is a data flow which represented in the shape of interactive graph, and individual tasks are represented by nodes. Each node has its unique color and shape, which helps Nikki to recall in memory which cleans and operations have been applied to her data. Also, Nikki can rearrange nodes' positioning on the map in a logical layout which would make sense for her particular business case. So the next time when Nikki opens up data prep tool in a specific task in mind, she can easily recall what the operations have been applied and then simply just navigate to the area of data flow where she needs to focus her effort right now. Preparing data is an interactive process, right? So wouldn't it be awesome if Nikki could see result of her changes right away? Our research showed that yes, that's definitely what our customers would like to have. And guess what? By clicking between nodes, Nikki sees how the result changes. And each node represents data visually for intuitive exploration. It allows you to see impact of your changes right away to ensure that you're making right decisions. Data prep tool can perform all kinds of tasks. You can join your data from internal and external sources. You can apply linear transformations and cleansing transformations to your data. Data prep tool gives Nikki ability to experiment with her data without any consequences. So Nikki can add linear transformations or cleansing transformations at any place of her data. And also she can see preview of her data right away. So just simply clicking on the plus node, tool will show a drop-down menu and reflects back to Nikki all the operations which are applicable to her data at this given point of time. So remember that toggle on a dashboard to bucket opportunities by size into small, medium, and large. In order to do so, Nikki needs to add transformation node to her data flow. So she clicks on the plus button, add transformation node, and what is transformation node? It's basically a hub of all the linear transformations, including bucketing. But before applying that bucketing transformation, Nikki spotted a data outlier with her transaction date column. She clicks on that column and sees that there is unformatted data values. But she also sees a suggested transformation from Einstein. And just simple as that, in one click, Nikki can go ahead and standardize her date format. Now, when Nikki is pretty happy with the quality of her data, she can go ahead and apply that bucketing transformation we talked before. She can go and add step before the given transformation or just keep stacking transformations on the left-hand side panel. And while she's working with her data, she can see how preview changes. And she can be sure that she applies all the right transformations and knows how that change her data, and she knows the potential impact on her data. And while she was working with her bucketing transformation, she accidentally missed out a required field. But that's not a problem at all, as she gets an instant feedback from the tool and can correct that mistake, and now the transformation is applied. Now Nikki is pretty happy with all the transformations she applied, but now she wants to make sure that she didn't forget any data sets to bring in and basically to track down end-to-end path of her transformations. Our research showed that sometimes it might be a difficult task to accomplish, especially when we are dealing with huge complex data flows. But guess what? It's pretty simple in the data prep tool, because we introduced a new neighborhood concept to our data flows. And some of you might wonder, what is neighborhood concept? That's a specific mode in our data prep tool, which can be optionally turned on, and it gives you ability to see all the direct sources which goes in and out from one node which you are focusing on right now. Pretty cool feature to have, right? And then let me remind you one more task which Nikki needed to accomplish. And that task was to bring in external data set to her data flow. In order to do so, she just needs to join the data set to her existing data flow. And because she knows the data set is not in her Salesforce org yet, she needs to connect to external data and create a new connector. In this case, that's a MuleSoft connector, and we set up new connector, new Anaplan connector, define all the settings, test it successfully, and the last step will be to define which fields we want to bring in our data flow. As simple as that, in several clicks, Nikki joined new data set from external connection to her existing data flow. And we all know that collaboration is a key. So imagine the situation when Nikki applied all the transformations, she's happy with her data set, and now she wants to mention her coworker so they all in sync. She can do so, and now she can go back in the time and check all the versions she had before, check what the transformations she applied on the previous versions, and decide which version to run. I hope you're excited about this product the way we are, because now preparing data is faster, better, and smarter. It's AI-driven experience. Preparing data is scalable because it works on the billions of rows and it works fast. And it's also collaborative experience. You can prepare your data with your teammates, you can annotate your notes, you can annotate your flow. And the most importantly, it's a unified experience because everything at one place, everything in Salesforce, and it's native to analytics. Back to Richa.
Yeah. Isn't that exciting? I mean, just to put things in perspective, not only is it easy and quick to prepare your data, but you do not lose any of the powerful functionality that Einstein Analytics Data Platform has to offer. And now, Nikki can focus on creating that dashboard with minimal or no JSON, SQL, and bindings. I mean, I'm excited. Is anyone who's excited, can you raise your hands? Yeah! Oh, this is awesome! Well, it's really glad for us to know that we are heading in the right direction, and it's just very humbling. Thank you. So, with that, I want to circle back to the message we started with the session with, which is the data set and the dashboards are highly interconnected entities. In a sense, the more time you spend in preparing data, the less complicated your dashboard becomes. And we believe that the new Einstein Analytics Data Preparation tool will go a long way in helping you prepare the data, simplify your dashboard experience, and help you become successful at work. But to get there, we need your help. What we showed you today is something that is work in progress. And if you want to make sure that the new Einstein Analytics Data Preparation tool serves your specific needs and use cases, then sign up for the user research program and give us feedback. You can do that right now by scanning this QR code with your phone camera, or use the short link, sfdc.co/EATDX19. And all you have to do is sign a really simple short form with your name and company details, and you'll be in our database system, and we'll carry it forward from there. And that's all we had for you today. If you have any questions, Oksana and I will be standing near the stage area for some time. So do come, say hi. And if you want to learn some best practices on how to design those beautiful analytics dashboards and apps, make sure you attend the theater session at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. It's a tad bit early, but it's totally worth it. And of course, do not forget to sign up for this research program. We really appreciate your feedback. That's all. Thank you.